Great Blue Heron Casino. We're located on Scugog Island, which is east of Port Perry. We're about an hour or so northeast of Toronto. Fun fact, this casino and land are actually owned by the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation. You'll notice that First Nation theme is sort of carried out throughout the facility, particularly with the colors of the roof and everything like that. This casino first opened in 1997, but actually their hotel is pretty new. It opened in November of 2021. Now we were going to do like a whole experience video and stay there overnight and everything, but rooms are almost like $200 a night. You do get $10 off if you use your casino card, but even still we thought, let's check it out first. And as you know, we're looking around, there's not a whole lot to do around this area. We did just have lunch actually in like the little town of Port Perry, which was nice, but still you're about a 10-minute drive from there. Anything close by, you're looking at about 10-15 minute drive at least. Nothing's really walkable. Now there are some wineries and some cideries and other things like that around here to do, so maybe we will actually consider staying here sometime in the future and recording like a full-on experience of, you know, the casino and the hotel and everything itself. For now, we are just going to stick to testing our luck at the casino. There's about 550 slot machines and about 60 table games, so let's go check it out. First impression, there's not a lot of games in here I actually recognize or know or wanted to play, for that matter. Yeah, that's my first impression. A lot of stuff in here seems closed as well, so I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's like fully open yet or something. I don't know, it's just a weird vibe so far. Alright guys, let's talk about Great Blue Heron Casino. Now first of all, I wanted to just give you guys a bit of a background here. COVID finally got me. I thought I was invincible, I thought that it wasn't going to get me, but unfortunately a few weeks ago, it did finally get me. So you might hear it in my voice a little bit, I may be clearing my throat a little bit more than normal, so I do apologize for that. Feeling a million times better. It started a few weeks ago. It was like right after I went to Casa Loma, and I'm not saying it was at Casa Loma, but it was very shortly after that. Excuse me, very shortly after that. And the Tuesday I started getting that like kind of dryness in my throat. By Wednesday started coughing a little bit, and then yeah, it just kind of came full blown. But I kept testing negative till like the Saturday, which made no sense. But anyway, whatever. Here we are, negative now. I'm good. No more COVID. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't know. I honestly thought that I was going to be like one of those people that just the chosen one that just didn't get it or something, because I just didn't understand why everyone around me was getting it. Everyone had all these mild cases as well, but for some reason mine was like the one that just knocked me on my ass for like a week basically. Anyway, here we are. We're good. I'm back. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about Great Blue Heron Casino. Now, this was my first time ever checking out this casino. This casino actually opened in, I believe, 1997, so it's been there for quite some time, but I'd never actually taken the drive and felt like I had a reason to go check it out. My mom told me she had been before and kind of told me that, you know, it was okay, it wasn't the best, because I was thinking of staying overnight, as I mentioned earlier. We were, you know, looking at hotels and this and that. There was one like right next door to it. It's attached, but not. Like you do have to walk through an outdoor walkway. It's sort of covered, but yeah, just bear in mind if you are staying there, you will have to walk outside a little bit. The rates I was looking at though for a Saturday night were I think around $180 plus tax. Now, if you do have a player's card, you will be able to save $10 with that, but just keep that in mind. It is a little bit on the expensive side, in my opinion. I have to say though, and I don't mean to be shady or anything like that, I am glad we chose not to stay, to be perfectly honest with you, and let me explain why. We started off, we went for lunch over at sort of like the downtown of Port Perry area. It's actually a really nice area. There's sort of like a strip, I think Queen and like Port Perry is like or Queen and Perry Street, I think, are like sort of like the main intersections of that area, where there's lots of shops, there's lots of little restaurants and things like that. It seems very seasonal though, because a lot of the stores I noticed did say that they were closed for the season, so I don't know if it's maybe busier in the summer or something like that. But either way, we still had a nice little time walking up and down the street there. Had lunch at a great place there called the Piano Cafe Inn, I believe it was called. And yeah, it was pretty good. Had a grilled cheese and yeah, anyway, pretty good food there. After that, we took the drive over to the casino. Yeah, I don't mean to be, again, negative or sound like I'm sort of being shady by all means. I was a little bit underwhelmed. You sort of pull in and there's nothing around you. There's like a Tim Hortons across the street, but otherwise there's really nothing around at all. Nothing's walkable, nothing like that. So if, once you're at the casino, that's basically all you can do. Now, for me, this isn't necessarily the kind of trip or experience I'm looking for. So if that is what you want to do and sort of that's what you're looking to do, just straight up gamble, then this would be fine for you. This would be perfectly fine for you. Way I see it though, this very much felt like a local casino. This very much felt like somewhere that if you kind of were in the surrounding area, you would go to take the drive there. Like as I said, for me, it was just an hour and maybe 15 minutes or so. Did I feel like it was worth it? Not really, especially when I compare it to somewhere like, and I know you guys are going to expect me to say this again, when you compare it to somewhere like Niagara Falls, there's so much more to do there. There's so many hotel options. There's, 2 casinos. There's Clifton Hill, which has all the, attractions. There's shopping close by. There's this, there's that. It just feels like there's a lot more walkable things to do in Niagara Falls, especially when I'm sort of comparing the two in terms of distance and whatnot. Even hotel options, like as I said, there's so many more options in Niagara Falls that if you want to spend big bucks and stay somewhere nice, you can do that. If you want to sort of kind of cheap it out a little bit and kind of keep your costs lower, again, you can usually do that depending on the season and the time of the year, and if there's anything big going on that weekend, for example, because sometimes those hotel prices could be outrageous. That said, we got to the casino, walked in, again, very underwhelming, very small lobby. It wasn't this sort of grand kind of lobby that you sort of expect when you go to a lot of these casinos now, like as I said, Fallsview or even some of these Vegas style casinos. Very small. You walk in, there's basically a little reception area there that you can just, I had to change my PIN, so we went there. Cody got a new card while we were there as well. There's a little restaurant bar type area called the Water's Edge where you can grab, like, I think they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as some drinks and things like that. There was a Quick Bites place, which I assume had just basically like sandwiches, things like that. That was closed. There was also supposed to be a noodle bar, which again was closed. And there was a little lounge area in the back that once you're in the casino, that if you want to sort of grab a drink or something like that, again, closed. So your only option is the Water's Edge. Now that said, there was somebody in the town of Port Perry when we went into one of the stores there who said that her aunt or somebody comes from out of town to go for dinner there. They have a great, I think like she said, prime rib or something like that, or some kind of a special that they do. They also have like, I think a lobster night or something like that. She says they were really good. Anyway, we didn't get to experience that, unfortunately. So yeah, I wouldn't know, but apparently they're really good. So maybe if you're in the area, check it out. After that, we went in to the casino area. If you make sure you have your ID and make sure you know your ID very well, because they do not play in there. I mean, hey, I'll take the compliment, but they really grilled you on your ID as you walked in. I got asked my last name, my birthday, my address, this, that, pretty much anything he could see on my card. He was asking me all these questions, and I mean, I'm in my 30s, so I'll take the compliment, but like, yeah, they were intense. So make sure you know your ID information very well, because they will grill you. The first impression though, when we walked in though, I just felt like the ceilings were very low. There wasn't a whole lot happening. I'm just used to these really loud, carpets, lights everywhere, and some kind of a decor, a theme. On the website, and from what I read, it said there was a very, high sort of First Nations type of theme, which I didn't particularly notice or see personally, unless maybe it was just in a different area of the casino that I didn't happen to see, but I didn't personally see any theming really going on. What I did notice though was there were a lot of machines that were down, and I didn't recognize any of the machines. There was maybe one or two that I was like, okay, I've seen this one or that one before, but for the most part, I didn't recognize any machines. I'm used to going and playing, Invaders of the Planet Moolah, or the Beer House one with Heidi and Klaus, I think. Anyway, nowhere to be found. No familiar games to me, except for, as I said, maybe one or two. Any game I played, just, I don't know, I wasn't really into it, to be honest with you. I didn't find that one game where I was like, great, that was a fun one. Just nothing really appealed to me. So I did have a hard time. I sort of bounced around a little bit, went up and down. I didn't lose, didn't win a whole lot, just as I said, up and down a bit. So it wasn't too bad. One thing I will say that I appreciate and they do right, in my opinion, is when you're cashing out. I don't know if you guys have been to casinos recently, but I don't know if you've noticed that when you go to cash out at the end, you don't get your change anymore. You say your ticket says like $75 and 78 cents. You'll get your $75 and you'll get like another ticket for the 78 cents. They actually give you your change here. And another plus is they actually round it up. So if you have 78 cents, for example, on your ticket, they'll round it up to 80. So you don't have to worry about, well, there's no pennies anymore in Canada anyway. But you don't have to worry about carrying around too much change because they do round it up. And yeah, I actually appreciate that because I can't remember the last time I've gotten change from one of those machines. They just, in Niagara, they don't do it anymore. In Vegas, they don't do it anymore. So I do appreciate that they do actually give you your change. Another thing I think that they do right is I did notice they did have quite a few waitresses coming around asking if people wanted drinks and things like that. Now, unfortunately, we are in Canada, so, it's not like in Vegas where you get free drinks in the casino. You do have to pay for them. But it was still nice that they did at least have servers coming by and giving beverages. And as I said, they were pretty, from what I saw at least, they were coming by pretty often. So again, I did appreciate that. That said, that was your only option if they didn't come by, because the only lounge in there that actually did serve alcohol inside the casino was closed. So I guess it's sort of a necessity more than anything to have them actually walking around serving drinks. I guess all in all, my overall impression was it just didn't even feel entirely open. There was a corner with table games that were all closed. There was just, a bunch of chairs stacked somewhere. Again, a lot of machines were closed. One of the cashiers was closed. For a Saturday though, the parking lot was pretty full. There is ample parking and it is free, so that's another plus as well. But yeah, it was fairly busy, to be honest with you, but it just didn't seem like things were open, which I didn't really understand. I can understand if it was sort of like the beginning of the pandemic or even like last year when the casinos were just starting to open again or something like that, but it wasn't even like that. We're now in almost 3 years into this thing, and most things, at least from my understanding, are fully open. So I was a bit surprised to see that this casino in itself didn't seem fully open. Maybe it's because they didn't think that they were going to be getting the crowds of people, so they didn't think they were going to be busy enough to have everything open, but I don't know, it seemed very not open. So as I said from the beginning, I don't want to come across as being rude or shady or nasty or just being negative about this place. I want to give you guys the same kind of advice that I would want to receive. If I was planning on going to Great Blue Heron Casino or anywhere for that matter, I would want someone to be brutally honest with me and tell me, yeah, they do this and this great, but these few things are not so great, or yeah, I wouldn't bother staying there, or I wouldn't do this, or I wouldn't do that, or I would do this. I do appreciate the honesty, and that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be rude or nasty. If you do personally enjoy Great Blue Heron Casino, then no shade intended at all. Like I said, for me, it did feel very much like a local type casino that there wasn't a whole lot else going on. Where I could see it could benefit from is possibly adding some kind of a theater or somewhere that they can do shows, even if it's a smaller type situation where they have maybe comedians or smaller music acts or something like that. It doesn't need to be a huge arena or stadium or anything like that. Just something where they can host some kind of entertainment. I think that would be a huge benefit. I think even across the street where they have that Tim Hortons, even if they built that up a little bit too, have a couple more restaurants around, a couple more dining options, pubs, bars, whatever the case is, just a few more options for people rather than just that one restaurant inside the casino. Just give people a bit more to do, a bit more options, because I'll be honest, for me to drive over an hour to go there again, I can't personally see myself doing it again. Like I said, if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to spend an hour and 15 minutes or so on the road, I'd much rather go to the falls, for example, because at least there's I can stop off at the outlet mall. I can go look at the falls. I can go, stay, the various hotels. I've got plenty of options. I can go in the casino. When I get bored of the casino, I can go outside and there's things to do. It's not just the casino. So I think that's my overall theme of it, is there's just not much else to do that's directly there, that's walkable. Like I said, anywhere else that you wanted to go, whether it be downtown Port Perry or anything like that, you're looking at least 10-15 minute drive from the casino. So is this spot right for you? I would honestly say if you're local, if you're in the area, if you're somewhat close by, then you're just looking to press your luck and gamble a little bit, and you know, there are tables, there's slot machines, you do have some options, then yeah, this is probably a fine place for you. If you're looking for somewhere to maybe stay for a night or two, or you're looking for somewhere that you can, you know, go to the casino but also go here and also see attractions and this, that, and the other, your best bet's probably to stick to somewhere like the Falls, where you will have more options and things to do. And you know, again, I'm just being completely honest. I'm not trying to be, you know, negative to Blue Heron or nothing like that at all. I you know, we had a nice day and everything. It was perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm not in a hurry to go back. I can't see myself going back. Like I did hope, I really did. The fact that we didn't stay overnight this time, I was actually thinking, let's go check it out and see, and you know, if it seems worth staying overnight, then you know, we'll go again and we'll book a hotel room and we'll stay for the night and this and that. I am glad we didn't book the hotel, to be honest, because I don't know what we would have done. I really don't. I don't know if they have Uber in that area or not, that we could say have taken an Uber to the downtown area and gone to a bar for dinner or go for drinks or something like that. There really just wasn't much in the surrounding area to do, and that's just the bottom line. This is just a casino and, you know, a hotel with it, and that's it. So no entertainment, no shopping, no other things to do. So yeah, take it or leave it. Anyway, let me know in the comments, have you been to Great Blue Heron Casino before? What were your thoughts? Did you have a good time? Were the machines good to you? Were they, you know, did they pay out well? Again, please don't come for me in the comments, please, because I'm not trying to be negative at all. I have no intention of being mean or nasty or anything like that. It's just, these are just my experiences. And like I said, if you are just planning on just gambling and just going there just to throw some money in the machines, then absolutely go for it. But for me, that wasn't my type of place. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't for me, but it doesn't mean it's not for everybody, because it was still busy in there and people were obviously still having a good time. So they're doing something right. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. It really does help me out to help sort of spread this video out throughout YouTube. Share this video with your friends if you have friends that, you know, like to go to casinos or like to gamble or whatever, and they're looking for somewhere new to check out. Maybe share this with them and see what they think. Once again, this has been Daniel on Spotlight, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.